Okay, WWE SummerSlam 2023 is in the books. No kickoff show matches again. And anyway, we started off with Logan Paul versus Ricochet. Right off the bat, Paul attacked Ricochet during the intro, he tried to shine Ricochet's shaved head and got slapped for it. He made eyes with Samantha Irvin a bunch of times. That's Ricochet's fiance and the ring announcer girl. Paul hit a big running power slam parodying Braun Strowman. Ricochet came back with a spine buster, then hit the People's standing moonsault. At one point, not a lot of big spots in this. This was probably the biggest spot of them all, which was that Ricochet, Paul went for a Spanish fly off of the apron, but Ricochet actually managed to kind of block it so that both of them landed on their feet, and the Ricochet hit one on basically the outside of the ring. Ricochet then hit a neck breaker off the top rope. Paul hit countered a moonsault into a tornado DDT, which is actually a very impressive maneuver. Ricochet hit the recoil, but Paul blocked the shooting star press. Paul hit a springboard frog splash. Ricochet came back, hit another big move, tried to do the 360, but Paul avoided it. At which point, one of his handlers who had accompanied him to the ring slipped him some brass knucks onto his hand with the titanium plate in it, and he decked Ricochet with the knucks to get the 3 count of the victory. Yeah, boy, this match was a real disappointment. Logan Paul has been more than capable of this, and I think a lot of people are expecting more high spots, more memeable moments, but there just wasn't, and unfortunately it just led to an overall boredom of the match that set in and unfortunately just did not leave. So yeah, not a great way to start things off. After that, we had Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar in the match that everyone thought was going to have a stipulation, but there wasn't one. Rhodes jumped Lesnar during the intro, but eventually got suplexed. Rhodes did hit back-to-back disaster kicks, went for a Cody cutter, Lesnar blocked it, hit an overhead gut-wrench suplex, and then went to Suplex City. And then we got the repetitive motion of Lesnar throws Cody out of the ring, Cody's hurt. He barely beats the 10 count. Lesnar throws out of the ring. Wash, rinse, repeat. Eventually, Cody got in a couple more times, but then Lesnar hit an F5 on the outside of the ring, an F5 through on the announce table. Still, Cody managed to get in. Cody finally got up and managed to get a few moves in. He had a couple more disaster kicks. I think he had a couple more Cody cutters. However, Lesnar caught him for another maneuver before, I think it was a Crossroads. Cody grabbed the top turnbuckle pad to try to escape, but he wound up ripping it off in the process. And then Lesnar locked on a Kimura. Cody just barely got to the ropes. Cody came back, managed to hit a lock on a Kimura of his own. Eventually, again, Lesnar fought out of that. Went for an F5. Cody countered that, sending Lesnar into the exposed turnbuckle. Cody then hit 3 Crossroads for the 3 count and the victory. Okay, decent match. Again, the repetitiveness of the Cody beating the 10 count just got, again, really tiresome. A boredom set in, where it's just like, do something else, please. You know, there has to be another way for that. Like, 2 or 3 times is the amount. They did it like 7 times, and it's like, no, you're padding this match out when you really don't need to do that. It just really, it kind of fell apart for me. That's just, you know, they're trying to set this up like this was some epic feud, but to be honest, all 3 of these matches were really underwhelming. So, yeah, I don't think it lived up to the hype. That being said, Lesnar did shake Cody's hand afterwards. They seem to have made peace now, so good. Okay, our next match was the Slim Jim Battle Royal with the likes of The Miz, the LWO, LA Knight, yeah, Tommaso Ciampa, the Viking Raiders, Riddle, Cameron Grimes, AJ Styles, Apollo Crews, Bronson Reed, Rick Boogs, Nakamura. And Omos kind of came in as a last entrance. Omos immediately eliminated Apollo Crews, JD McDonough, and Rick Boogs. Imperium then double teamed to eliminate Otis from Alpha Academy. That's the A. Anyway, Gabriel then eliminated Giovanni Vici. Ciampa then eliminated both the Viking Raiders and Nakamura. Bronson Reed then eliminated Ciampa. Theory then eliminated Cameron Grimes. At this point, what did I write there? E. Escobar eliminated Austin Theory after that. Karrion Kross then eliminated Escobar. Gable then eliminated Ludwig Kaiser. Omos eliminated Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. At this point, everyone ganged up to eliminate Omos. Miz and Grayson Waller doubled Chad Gable, sorry, to eliminate him. Let's see, someone eliminated The Miz. What did I write there? Yeah, The Miz was eliminated. Sheamus eliminated Grayson Waller. AJ Styles then eliminated Karrion Kross. Bronson Reed eliminated Chad Gable. I thought never mind. It was down. The final four were Sheamus, Bronson Reed, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and yeah, that's it. Then Karrion Kross came in to aid in the elimination of AJ Styles. LA Knight took out Bronson Reed. That left Sheamus and LA Knight. LA Knight hit a belly-to-belly superplex and then tossed Sheamus over the rope to win. You know, it was Battle Royal. It had its moments. Kind of a predictable winner. I mean, I thought briefly for a second, you know, when I saw Grayson Waller was involved, I thought, well, maybe, because there were rumors that they were going to do something with Grayson Waller and someone. But, you know, it's like, well, you know, maybe they could have Waller win it and then brag about it only to get beat up. But that didn't happen, and it's like, okay, well, obviously everyone was picking LA Knight to win, and LA Knight won. So, yeah, you know, it was a decent enough Battle Royal. And that leads us into our next match, the MMA rules match between Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Long and short of it is no pinfalls, no rope breaks. The only way to win the match is either to make your opponent tap out, make them pass out in a hold, or to just knock them out completely. So, yeah. Anyway, right off the bat, Baszler hit Rousey with a big roundhouse kick. Both women locked on heel hooks. Rousey came back and tried to put on a Kimura move. Baszler fought out of that by going over the top rope, though she was sold an arm injury. The physicians were checking it out, but Rousey threw them out of the ring, demanded Baszler fight back, so Baszler did. Locked on the rear naked choke or the Kirifuna clutch. Rousey fought out of it, tried to get the armbar on, but Baszler fought back, got the Kirifuna clutch on again. Rousey tried to attack the injured arm to fight out, but eventually proved too much, and Rousey passed out, so Baszler won. A decent enough match overall. Unfortunately, the crowd was just not buying it. I don't think this crowd was entirely hip to MMA. Again, I think if this had been something more like an I Quit match, it would have maybe worked a little bit better. It was a little short, you know, it was a little, yeah, it's like a little rushed in certain parts, and then you had the dead spot with the injury selling, which probably could have been a bit more interesting. Again, if the match had just had a bit more impact in it, it just didn't. So, yeah, it definitely led to a very lacking feel to it overall. It wasn't bad, it's just there was a lot of room for improvement. Okay, our next match was the Intercontinental Championship match, Walter versus Drew McIntyre. McIntyre got an early Glasgow kiss right off the bat. He did the Air Scotland. Walter came back. He hit a back suplex, sending McIntyre into the ring steps. Walter hit a butterfly suplex and followed that up with a very hard clothesline. McIntyre came back with a lariat of his own. Both men chopped each other repeatedly. McIntyre went for the Claymore. Walter countered it with a drop kick. Tried to get the powerbomb, but then McIntyre countered that into a powerbomb of his own. Walter then did counter another Claymore with a drop kick and hit his power bomb and only got a 2 count. More chops from both men. McIntyre hit a Claymore but only got a 2 count. Walter hit his top rope splash. Wasn't quite enough. Eventually both men began fighting on the top turnbuckle. It looked like McIntyre was going to try to do a real super bomb, Chris Candido style, but Walter fought back, causing McIntyre to get crotched on the ropes. Walter hit the splash, then a lariat, then a powerbomb for the 3 count of the victory. Overall, decent match, good hard-hitting match, but a little too short. I wanted more. I definitely found that part lacking. I thought we were going to have another drawn-out banger, and yeah, it really didn't happen. It's like, as soon as the rope incident happened, like, okay, so he's going to do something. Okay, he hit the okay, now McIntyre's going to, oh wait, it's over? Never mind. So yeah, a little bit of a disappointing ending. Not in the sense that Walter won, just that, again, I was expecting more from the match. And that leads us into our next match, which is the World Heavyweight Championship match, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Judgment Day did not accompany Balor to the ring, though Balor did jump Rollins during the bell, just before the bell went off. Balor hit a jumping stomp and then uses the ropes to do a hammerlock. He was targeting Rollins' shoulder, trying to reenact the injury from 7 years ago that Rollins gave to him. Even going as far as to hit a barricade bomb. Rollins came back, he grabbed Balor's beard for some headbutts, hit multiple torpes. Balor hit a hangman shoulder breaker. Balor, like I said, hit the barricade bomb, then hit a sling blade. Tried to go for the coup de grace, but Rollins fought back, hit a superplex falcon arrow, went for a frog splash. Rollins did hit a couple buckle bombs of his own. Rollins then hit a pedigree. At this point, Damian Priest came down to the ring again. He cheap-shotted Rollins to try to get Balor the victory. It didn't quite work. At this point, Rhea Ripley and Dominic also hit the ringside area. They began distracting the ref. Priest gets into the ring and tries to give the briefcase to Balor to use as a weapon. And Balor, as something happened, because there's like some miscommunication going on, and Balor said, no, it's not time yet, it's not time yet, you can't do this now. And he's like, I'm not cashing in, I'm trying to let you use this as a weapon to win the championship. And they're trying to, it just came to an argument, and so it doesn't quite work. They fight more on the outside. Again, they jump Rollins as he hits a top rope maneuver to the outside of the ring to try to take everyone out. They fight back again. Balor hits the coup de grace, but only gets 2 count. At this point, again, the ref's distracted, so Balor now asks for the briefcase to use as a weapon. Priest is like, I don't want to anymore. Finally, he gives in, slides it in the ring, half-heartedly attempts to distract the ref. As Balor is trying to get to the briefcase, however, Rollins hits the stomp on the briefcase, gets the 3 count of the victory, and Damian Priest is looking very nonplussed. So yeah, a bit of confusion in the ending, but overall, I really liked this match. It was fun. It's nice that we didn't quite get a cash in again, but overall, like I said, very good. It's taken the Judgment Day in a weird direction, but it is something I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out. I think, again, this could play out a lot of ways. I mean, you could have Balor interfere when Priest does eventually cash in, or, Damian Priest will cash in on Finn Balor. I'm not entirely sure, but again, it is at least adding an interesting idea, I think. Okay, our next match is the triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. Asuka versus Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair. Right off the bat, Asuka used the ropes to block a handspring attack from Bianca Belair. Belair came back at Flair and Asuka with a plunge to the outside of the ring. Asuka hit Flair with a German suplex. Flair hit both women with exploders. Asuka broke a figure 8 attempt with a code breaker. Belair hit a neck breaker DDT combo on both women. She started selling a knee injury at some point. And then Asuka put the Asuka lock on Flair. Belair broke it up with a handspring maneuver. And this is where things start to get a little bonkers. Flair tried to flip Bianca out of the ring. You heard her hit the ring steps. You're not entirely sure what happened. The announcers theorized that she maybe tried to brace herself from hitting the ring steps with her hands, but in the process she wound up hurting her knee pretty badly. Like, they needed to get help down there. You know, the ref had to stop the match temporarily to call everyone back out. So Flair and Asuka fought for a while. Flair got Asuka in the figure eight. This spurred Bianca to run back into the ring, hit a 450 off the top rope to break the hold. They fought a bit more. Asuka got the Asuka lock on after a power bomb from Bianca. They fought a little bit more. Bianca got put in the figure eight, but Asuka broke it up with the mist, tried to hit a running knee, I believe, on Bianca Belair, but she countered that into a small package, got the 3 count and the victory to win the Women's Championship. However, almost immediately after that, Damage Control's music hits. Io Sky runs down, Bayley and Io Sky run down. Io cashes in her Money in the Bank, attacks Bianca with the briefcase a couple of times in the knee, hits the moonsault, gets the 3 count and the victory. So Io Sky is now officially the WWE Women's Champion, or Women's World Champion, or I don't know what the belts are. I don't, at least not with the women. Like the others, I know, but that's the one that kind of confused me. But yeah, Io wins the championship, and as this happens, as they're celebrating, Dakota Kai comes down, so it looks like Damage Control is finally fully reformed again. Overall, this was probably the match of the night. In my opinion, I thought this told a better story. It did a better job doing everything. Like, there weren't a lot of dead spots. I didn't think the ending felt clunky. I thought, like I said, everything worked better. All of these women worked together really well. I do think, again, this is taking things in a more interesting direction. It is going to be interesting to see how Damage Control works with this. How long till Bayley turns on everyone again. But, again, like, okay, this could actually work out a lot better. And after that, we had the Tribal Combat match for the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. At which point, Roman does his acknowledge me thing. They're doing everything, and because and I apologize if I butcher this pronunciation, the Ulalava, or that's the tribal chief lay, is on the line in this match as well. The ref wanted to hold it up. Heyman was hesitant to give it up. Finally, Reigns took it from Heyman, presented it to Jey, and he said, "If you beat me, I will place this around your neck, okay?" And that just seemed to be enough to have this start the match then. Jey countered a leapfrog with a low kick, following that with a big torpe. Jey set up a table and got into an argument with Heyman that allowed Reigns to come back and fight back a bit more. Jey tried another torpe, but Reigns countered that with a kendo stick. Jey countered a Superman punch by grabbing the kendo stick and poking Reigns in the gut with it. Reigns countered a crossbody with a Superman punch. Jey hit the super kick and the splash. At some point, Reigns set up a table in the corner, but Jey got, I don't know, it was a super kick. He got some type of kick that knocked Reigns down. He then got out a whole bunch of chairs from the underneath area and piled them up. Reigns then wound up hitting a powerbomb off the rope onto a set of chairs. Reigns countered a superplex into a powerbomb onto the set of chairs. Jey came back at the Samoan drop off the apron through the table that I set up on the outside. He then attacked Roman with a leather strap. Reigns fled into the crowd. Jey followed him, and that's where Solo Sikoa interfered and attacked. He hit the spinning Solo through a table. They fought back to the ring area. They tried to do the Spear Samoan Spike combo, but Jey pulled Solo into Roman's path. They fought to the outside. Solo interfered again. Tried to hit the spinning Solo through the announce table. Jey instead hit a splash to the outside. At one point, Reigns tried to said something that caught Solo off guard that he saw as disrespectful, And because it distracted Reigns enough for Jay to hit a spear through into the timekeeper area, they get back in the ring. Jay attacks with the chair a couple times, hits a spear, goes to the top rope for a splash, hits that, at which point Jimmy Uso comes out of the crowd and breaks up the pin. So the Usos have officially broken up. Jimmy super kicked Jay, threw him back into the ring to get pinned after another spear through the table that had been mounted in the corner. And everyone is treating like this meant that Reigns brought Jimmy back into the bloodline. I don't think so. Reigns looked confused. Reigns and Solo both looked confused, and Jimmy did not stay to celebrate with Reigns. He just left. So I'm thinking this is probably setting up a four-way. Obviously, so something's going on here. It is going to be very interesting next Friday, I'll say that. Overall, the match was good. There were a few kind of, again, like spots where it's like, we're waiting to set things up, we're waiting to set things up, we're waiting to set things up. But other than that, this was fun. Like, this was definitely the second best match of the night. It definitely helped close the pay-per-view off on a fairly decent note, I think. Again, this pay-per-view was very much, and yeah, I know they're premium live events now, but sorry, a little coughing fit there. Anyway, like I said, this definitely helped end the show on something of an interesting note. Like I said, I know some people are viewing this as the jump the shark moment for this Bloodline storyline, and maybe so, but obviously Reigns is still going to be champion for a while. Like I said, definitely going to see what happens next month at Payback, which is on the 2nd. So yeah, like, definitely some interesting ideas. The show overall, like I said, definitely falls into mixed bag category. You know, matches we thought were going to be show stealers really weren't. Like I said, some disappointing finishes, others just don't think lived up to the hype. Again, not necessarily bad, just kind of meh. And so that did kind of led to the show having a very monotonous feeling very early on. You know, Baszler Rousey, I think, lacked a lot of intensity. Like I said, the crowd just was not up for it. I don't think they were up for an MMA match. Again, I think if you make that an I Quit match or something like that, it would have been a lot more entertaining. They could have definitely played that up more. Like I said, Walter McIntyre felt a little rushed. The Battle Royale was a little predictable. To be honest, I think the match order was a little out of whack too. Like, I would have put the Battle Royale in between the Intercontinental Champion and the World Championship match. I think that would have spaced things out just a little bit more, because obviously the Battle Royale is supposed to be more of a rest match than it was anything, or maybe a match to go get concessions. So yeah, like I said, overall, not a terrible show. At the end of the day, I think I'm going to give SummerSlam 2023 B-. I think giving us anywhere near a C was probably a little too much, but I don't think I could go all the way up to B. Like I said, there were just too many dead spots for my opinion. So yeah, B- I think is a decent enough grading for this. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I had planned to do All In this month, and unfortunately it's just not in the cards. All In or All Out, it's just money got tight again. Trying my darndest to save money as best I can, but these things just keep popping up. So yeah. Anyway, so in all likelihood, I know there's Impact Emergence too, but right now I'm thinking the next wrestling show is probably going to be Payback. I know it's maybe not the best in the world, but it's going to probably have to make do for now. There'll probably be at least 2 more Impact shows before the end of the year at least. I'll try to do at least 1 more. So we'll get a little bit different flavor. I don't think I'll be able to do any more AEW the rest of the year. Yeah, I mean, the problem there is, again, AEW shows are $50. Like, it's a big cost to me, okay? Anyway, after that, yeah, the next video is probably going to be the Madden 24 preview video. We'll go over a lot of things there too. Hopefully I'll be able to actually get Madden, because I haven't been able to do that either. I mean, it's not out yet, but I was going to pre-order it. Because I don't trust a lot of the retail stores around here very much. But hopefully I can get that taken care of. Other than that, the next video is, the next movie review is going to be Blue Beetle, hopefully. And then, of course, the random trade review for, that'll be in a couple weeks. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember you can help me maintain and possibly even expand my professional wrestling covers by supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/SleepyTime4Cat Productions. Also, remember to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.